You're kicking it with G on your favorite station.
The perfect station.
92 KELZ, the only station with new music, new artists, new sound.
We are back. We are back with our second guest, Miss Natasha Brooks.
Miss Natasha. Hello. Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited.
So let's just hop right into this thing, get this thing started. For the people who don't know you, who is Natasha Brooks?
Who is Natasha Brooks? So I am from Houston, so I'm a local. And, I went to school here. I left here, went to DC, and graduated from Howard.
Okay.
I came back because this is my home. And I was working in corporate America for years after I graduated.
How old is B? I ain't mean to just judge y'all, but I know a lot of people that graduated from Howard right now. A lot. There's a lot of you.
Yeah, it is. We represent.
Y'all really do though.
Like literally.
We were so deep. We had a club at Howard. It was called the Texas Club.
Wow.
And then we combined it with Louisiana because, we're like neighbors. So it was like the Texas Louisiana Club. And I don't think any other club besides New York, I think they're the only other ones that had a club because they were so deep. Texas and New York, yes. It was a lot of us.
That's crazy. Like literally all you ever hear is Clark, Atlanta.
But you wouldn't
HU.
expect it. That's what I'm saying. Like you wouldn't even expect it.
You really would not. Like they send their kids and then y'all come back. Why y'all come back?
And it's like,
y'all come
but
back.
it's like over the last couple of years though, like over the last few years, everybody, what do you call Howard? Howard, like what is going on?
That is true. You know what? My second choice was Clark, Atlanta. That's
See?
hilarious. Yeah. I don't know.
I told you.
It's the TV, man. It's that theta.
This is the Cosby Show, right?
Yeah. Everybody was like, I want to be HBCU. And then those were the top two choices. It was like, oh, okay.
Columbia Short did it for y'all. Stump Yard came out. Everybody went wild.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of what inspired me. Like, besides, of course, Mom. She's like, go there. It's a good school. But I think TV definitely played a part in it, for sure. But yeah, so I came back here and I graduated from Howard Criminal Justice. So my goal was law school because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Graduate from a good school, go.
That's what they tell you.
Well, that's what you think you're supposed to do. That's what they tell you. Make good grades, go to a good school, graduate, get a good job. That's what I did. And when I came back, I think they spoiled us at Howard. They made us think we were like cream de la crop, seriously. Because I came back here, I'm like, I'm gonna make $80,000 as soon as I graduate. And the reality was that did not happen. I graduated and came back. I got a good job, but I was not making $80,000. Let's just say that. And 5 years later, I'm working at an insurance brokerage firm as an account manager, not at a law firm like I thought I was. Yeah. And I'm making $50,000, not $80,000. Now, $50,000 is good. Don't let you think that it's not. It's really good, but at the same time, it's not. I'm $50,000 in debt. So at this point, I'm making $50,000 5 years later. There's a problem, and you don't take into context or into account that you're also, having to drive 2 hours because we live in Houston and everything's like so far away. I'm miserable. When I say miserable, I mean like I'm in the parking lot at work. Like, do I really want to go in? I mean,
but did it always become that way, or did it just get to that way now?
You know what? I always had an issue working for someone else. I'm not gonna even lie.
I can agree with that.
I always had an issue. So that particular job, it was worse. But the job before that, I hated it also. Yeah. I would try to find any way to work remote or do something different. And it got to the point where it's like, okay, I'm working in a corporate office with, I hate to say it, but mostly older white men. I'm doing the same job as 2 white women, and I'm making, I know, like $30,000 less.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah.
And so there's an issue. So it got to the point where it's like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I need to figure out something different. And so I actually came across, the virtual world. And this is like 7 years ago when nobody knows anything about freelancing, working remote, really. This is new. Yeah. You're supposed to be in an office. Yeah. Or you're supposed to be, at some company. You're not supposed to be working for yourself, or you're not supposed to be working remote. And that's for, in our community,
They
it's
think
not.
you're not even working at all. They
Yeah.
think you're like lagging on.
That's
You're on
true.
social media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like in our community, we're not really taught kind of the entrepreneur spirit, you know? We're taught, get a good job, graduate, get a good job, and you're gonna ultimately live the American dream.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
Yeah.
They're not telling us, you know, you're gonna be in debt. They're not telling us you're gonna be working for someone else and possibly not making the same amount, even though you're doing the same job. They're not telling us that, you know, you're gonna be living paycheck to paycheck.
I just want to say, like, just come in and just be, like, I feel like they have told us that our whole life. We can be anything we want to be. We just took the words a different way.
But when you say you can be anything you want to be, what does that mean?
Yeah. It doesn't mean
That's what an entrepreneur is. Be anything he want to be because he made himself.
Yeah, but they don't give you. I get what you're saying. So
No, I definitely get what you're saying.
other races, other communities prepare their children for
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. They
Exactly.
prepare them for working your 9 to 5 and building.
But
They
that's-
start you off
Now
early.
that we can, because our parents really
Now.
didn't know that way.
Now, but
Yeah,
that's
you
what
know.
I'm saying. Then 10 years ago,
Definitely
15
not.
years
No.
ago,
Definitely.
who knew?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know. My first goal was med school, law school. It was
Yeah.
either or.
Yeah.
There was no in between. There was no entrepreneur. You know, there was no freelance. I didn't know what that is like before.
Freelance was like for painters.
Yeah.
And when they said that, that means you were broke and you worked at a coffee shop your whole life.
Hey,
Oh
for
my God,
real,
exactly.
though.
That's what I think of. And it's like, oh, do you really work? You're a freelancer. Like, how do you pay your
Yeah.
bills? And virtual assistant, I never even heard of that before. 15 years ago.
Yeah.
What is that? And so it's kind of crazy how I actually even stumbled into what I do. And it was more so I just hated where I was at, and I was like, I have to figure out what I'm going to do different. And that actually included me, you know, finding my first client, me, you know, grinding 3 hours every time I got home from my 9 to 5. So I would work 9 to 5, take an hour to get home, you know, run and grab something to eat, and then get on the computer for 3 hours and look for alternative ways to support myself that didn't involve me being miserable 40 hours a week.
No, seriously.
Agreed.
So it literally, I had a second job, and it included finding a second hustle.
Second job finding the second hustle.
It really is
That
like
is so
that, though.
real.
Like, if you lose a job now, man, you gonna be looking for the next 2 years to
Oh,
find one.
yeah,
Like, that's a job all in itself.
exactly. And you don't even think about that because they're saying, oh, Donald Trump is saying how, you know, unemployment's down, is that it's record low.
I'm just like, oh, every time they say that, I'm just like,
You know what?
Inflation
And
is real.
it is, but misemployment. What's that, right? They don't talk about that.
Yeah.
What about misemployment with having people who are overqualified working these menial jobs, not making enough to even support their family?
that's everybody.
Well, we made that statement earlier because the question of the day is, does education make you
Yeah.
more qualified?
Right.
And I
That's a
made
good
a
question.
statement earlier, you go get a degree. Your
Yeah.
family pushes you to get a
Yes.
degree. Well, but even your parents don't know because they haven't even had the opportunity, some of us, that they haven't even finished college.
Yeah.
That once you apply for that job, they want 7 to 10 years experience.
Exactly. Oh my God. When I
You
told
definitely want that experience.
Without an
Yeah.
internship, sorry,
You
without an
never-
internship.
I had an internship. Let me tell you, I had an internship at a downtown law firm in Washington, D.C. And when I graduated,
Olivia Pope.
I know, right? I see, when I watched that, I was like, yeah, that was me. I thought.
It's hurtful. Like, how can you just give me an internship in here? I know I'm finna soar, and y'all don't give me no job.
And you,
Like,
oh my God, I came home, let me tell you, I even got a certification as a paralegal. Yeah, so that was an additional year after I graduated. And so I came home and I went on about my initial, you know, coming home, I went on about 5 interviews, back-to-back law firms. Oh, they love me on paper, but when they talk to me, they're like, you don't have enough experience. What do you mean? You know I just graduated. Of course I don't have that much experience, but I have a whole year worth of internship at a downtown law firm in DC.
And then you went above and beyond and got your paralegal license.
Yes.
That is the thing. It's like you try to show them, I go above and beyond, I'm doing this, this, and this, I've got this.
Mhm.
And they're like, no, not good enough.
you know what stings? Is why even contact me, period, if you ain't gonna give me a job.
Exactly. You just get my hopes all up.
Why
Bad
contact me?
relationships.
You just get my hopes here and bring me all the way back down.
Yeah.
But then if they hire you, they're like, oh, we're gonna pay you $14 an hour.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with $14 an hour? And I know that's a lot more than a lot of people make, $14 an hour.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? People who have degrees, I know, who are making less than $14 an hour.
Yeah.
Misemployment.
With a degree.
With a degree.
So was that your passion and your spark to go to virtual?
No.
What was it?
It was, I thought it was law. I thought it was. And, you know, I actually can use my degree still because I actually work with law firms. Now, I didn't say for, I said with, because I work and provide virtual legal services to them. Yeah. So they don't, and so that allows me to work with law firms that are in other locations that pay me more because their cost of living is higher where they're at. So I may work with a law firm in DC. I have.
Yeah.
You're definitely an independent contractor more than you have had employee.
Yeah. And well, why is that though, right? It's because they don't have the overhead of hiring traditional employees. So they don't have to pay for workers' comp, you know, employee benefits. They don't have to pay for equipment. So they can give you that extra money and pay you more. And so that's why you think about now, why is the virtual world becoming such a, you know, a big phase? It's because more employers are realizing that it's actually more cost efficient for them.
Yeah.
So if they pay someone that's a virtual assistant or a freelancer, they can actually grow their business without having to have that overhead of having a traditional employee. And that creates more opportunities for us virtual assistants or us freelancers, because now there are way more opportunities in this changing job landscape than there was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago or 7 years ago when I started, it was hard finding my first client. I made mistakes. I fell for scams. You know, they had all types of scams that came out.
I was gonna ask.
They do.
But you know what's crazy is that's 10 years later though, we still have scams. We still have
Yeah.
cyber attacks, and now it's on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
How does that affect what you do?
You know, you grow and you learn how to look for like the signs. And so there are always signs. So I didn't have any idea what any of those signs were 7 years ago. But you try that on me now, there's no way I'm falling for it. I know what to look for, I know what questions to ask.
Yeah.
And if I, you know, even get any type of feeling that it is a scam, I'm moving on. There's no way I'm even gonna entertain it. But yeah, so I never thought that I would be even starting my own business. I never even aspired to start my own business. But that's kind of where my experience and everything has led me. And I've realized that what I do is huge, and I should be teaching other people how to do this.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like if people were to teach how to sustain until you actually start making money,
Yeah.
more people will be on their way for doing things. Because that's the main part, sustaining through that transition period.
Absolutely.
I don't really know where to turn and where to go.
Or how to just make this another stream, because
Absolutely.
it's best to have multiple streams.
Absolutely.
If one dries up, get another one.
Grandpa always said you gotta have 7 to be successful.
You have to have 7, exactly. And one of them is your own business.
Yeah.
And that's what we help you determine and help you teach you how to do, is start your own business as a virtual assistant. And so it's a, you know, teaching people how to do this and showing them that this is a different way to make money, but you can make more because there's no cap. You know, whereas an employer gives you a cap. This is how much your salary is going to be for the year. You know, at the end you may get a review and may get a raise, $1 or
Maybe a
50
bonus,
cents
yeah.
or a bonus. But here, and in terms of virtual assistants, you can handle as many clients. You can take as many clients as you can handle. And so that means that you set your own rate. You determine how much you're going to make. You determine, you know, which clients you want to work with. You don't have to settle. If your relationship with that client is not working, you can end it at any time, and so can they. And it gives you just a lot more control over your whole life. And like I say, with being a virtual assistant, with starting your own business, you integrate work with your life. You don't separate. So it's not a separation of I'm going to work, I'm coming home, now I have to live my life because I'm off.
Now, I'm glad you said that, because it is definitely, you are your walking billboard.
Exactly.
Like, you have to put in the time for you to evolve.
Exactly.
Like, I ain't gonna get my money to somebody that don't live right.
Exactly.
I'm just,
So yeah, you have to dedicate, it's your business. So you are your business, you're your brand. I say that all the time. You represent you. So you're a virtual assistant. It's your business. How you communicate with other people, how you show yourself, that is you. That's your business. So always show yourself the best way. You want to grow your business, and you can. And a lot of people are still confused, like, what is a virtual assistant?
I was just going to ask that question. What is a virtual
What is
assistant?
that again?
So virtual assistant, think of anytime you say, I know what an executive assistant is or an admin assistant.
Yeah.
People know what that is, right? But a virtual assistant is someone who does similar tasks,
In a different city.
just in a remote location. So it can be in the same city. I actually have an attorney I work with. She's in Houston. We are in the same city, but I still work with her remote. We may hop on a Skype call, but that's the extent of it. Like,
So is it still more so like the whole in-house, the paperwork thing, or is it more so you're on the ground marketing since you're virtual and you need to go do this, go do that?
no, it's more administrative online. There are so many advances to technology. You can do anything. You can do filing online. You can do calls and meetings online. You don't have to go and do really anything. Now, if you're with a client and they say, okay, I may need you, here in this location so that you can run errands, that's your agreement with them. But that's not usually how a virtual assistant works. They usually work strictly remote, and it's all like either administrative tasks that are professional or even personal. Some entrepreneurs are just busy and have 6 different businesses going on. So they're saying, okay, I may need you just to schedule my plane ride or schedule my hotel lodging. Something as simple as that. But it's still something they need help with. And so you're not only helping your clients grow their business, and once they grow their business, they pay you more because it's a win-win relationship.
So I know you said they have more flexibility with how they do things because it's on your own time.
Exactly.
Right? But how does that work? Like, because most assistants, even though physically, like, they're there, most assistants, like, they're not on a 9 to 5. They are, like, around the clock. So how does that work with the client? Like, with their client that they're working with? Like,
Yeah.
I need you from this hour to this hour, or...
Yeah, a lot of clients are, flexible. So they say,
Okay.
if I just need you available from, 8 to 3,
Okay.
or, and I don't mean available like at my beck and call. I mean, if I do just send you a text, just respond to it and, have a fast response, or be on email, at least have your email to your phone. So I have a lot of different ways I do it. I have like email on my phone. I have, I'm available via email, but also set expectations. So what to expect from me and what do I expect from you in terms of communication, in terms of, your
So this is a
behavior.
complete all agreement all the way around.
All the way around. And you get this straight before you even start working together.
I was just gonna say, like, how did you even bridge that gap? Cause is this like a common thing, virtual assistants?
It's becoming a lot more common now.
I was like, cause I never would have heard like coming up out of nowhere. Like, how did you bridge that gap to be able to get these clients?
You know what? 7 years. I actually stumbled across 7 years ago. My first client. It was, I don't even know where they were located. It wasn't in Houston, but it was like a software company, and they just needed me to schedule calls for them. So I was like, okay, I can do this, on the side with my 9 to 5. And so I just started, scheduling calls, and they were like, we're gonna pay you this. So at first I didn't know, like, you can negotiate. I had no experience. My first time even hearing about anything like this. So I'm like, okay, I accept that. That's fine, especially for part-time. And it just started growing from there. I found that client, and I found another one who's like, she was doing project management. She just needed me to help her with like some contracts and help her. So it just kind of, as I did more research online, I just started finding more clients. And to the point where I was like, I have enough clients where I can now supplement what I was making full time at my job and leave there and actually, make more, the same if not more.
Because you have that time open now.
Yeah.
I have that time and I can work to my cap. I can work as much as I want. Like I know you want to ask.
I was just like, what does that even like? What does that look like though? Like, so you just be like, hey, use me. I know you're
right.
doing a lot of
I'm
work.
open for the next 10
just,
hours.
I'm here.
Bring on the work.
You know what? We teach you all of that on your time. So we provide training, virtual assistant training. We provide an online course. We provide you with mentorship and also assistance helping you find your first client. So you'll get the chance to see exactly how it looks. My first student, he's a 23-year-old black male with 2 little kids. So his background is completely different from mine. Didn't graduate college, you know, he had customer service experience from a call center, but his background was completely different. He took the course, he took it seriously. He, you know, was mentored by me, and we helped him find his first client. Now he just found his third one on his own. And he was able to work, he's working full time from home. And not only is he making like, you know, the agreed upon rate, he set his rate and the client said, okay, I agree to this rate. He now can make commission based upon the sales that he makes with that client.
Wow.
That's pretty dope.
That's
That's even good to even come in with a success story. Hey, I got this person with this.
Exactly.
And then he's going to back you up. So that's even
Yeah.
better.
Oh yeah.
Pushing.
Yeah, and especially from someone who, you know, is totally different demographic from me in terms of like he's a male, he's younger, he has less experience in the, you know, corporate world. And for him to say, okay, I was able to do this.
Let me set up for this real quick. Because that's one time for the males one time. Because they always say we dumb, man. We can learn stuff too.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
You have to be willing to learn and get in there and get
You
your
have to
head.
be coachable.
Hey, because you don't never hear a guy like a guy came to me. It's always the women.
Mm-hmm.
The women come and did this. We finally did something.
Yeah. He took it seriously, and now he has his own virtual assistant business. And I tell him, you know, remember, this is your business. So if you're having, you know, a conflict with a client, that's a common question. So what happens if me and my client are, you know, having difficulties? We teach you how to manage those difficulties so that you remain yourself, you remain your brand, but you're also standing up for your rights too as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. So that is what Own Your Time is. We are, you know, a training, virtual assistant training. We provide you with that. We also help entrepreneurs and staff them with virtual assistants. And we're also a lifestyle brand where we help you understand that we believe in freedom, we believe in balance, and we do that from social media. We do that through our Own Your Time clothing brand. So we want it's not just a different way of working, but it's a different lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you want to learn how to integrate work with your life, and you don't have to separate it. You may be doing some, you know, work. Your child may be sleeping. For the moms out there that want to work from home, you know, you may put your child to sleep and say, okay, let me do some work while they're taking a nap. And then once they wake up, you stop working and you go, you know, take care of your child and then get back to it once you get them settled again. So integrating your work with your life and not just separating it.
What has been the most challenging thing you faced with making this transition and also with training people?
Yes, definitely. When I'm making this transition, remembering, like helping myself remember that just because I was taught that there was one way to do things doesn't mean it was right. So I've had to sometimes think about that myself and kind of second guess myself, am I doing the right thing? When I transitioned. My family thought I was crazy. They're like, what are you doing? Why did you quit your job? Like,
See, that's that old way of thinking.
That
what are you
is.
doing? What are you gonna do now? How are you gonna pay your bills? You know, and even still seeing me 7 years later, some of them still don't understand what I do. They're still like, what do you do? Like, I just see you on your computer, I don't understand. But just having
All the
people
time.
All the time.
having to like keep that mindset that, you know, I'm doing the right thing, regardless of who supports me and regardless of, you know, what I was taught in the past. And then with training people, just helping them to believe that they can actually do it. That it's actually possible, that in 5 years, 10 years, this will be the way everyone's working.
Yeah.
And you want to get ahead.
Man.
You want to be that person that is doing it now so that you have that competitive edge, you have years of experience in your back, and you're getting clients making $50 an hour if you want.
Now, it's going to be a few of us now. It ain't going to be everybody.
It ain't gonna be
Because
everybody.
we all know some big people lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
People
going to be
ain't putting
enough
in
of
no
our
work.
generation doing it. It's going to be the younger
It's going to be
generation.
the younger generation that's taking over. And we're going to be the old ones that are like, you
What's
know.
going on?
Yeah.
How you do this? What?
Yeah.
You come in and show me this. Yeah,
Look,
no.
actually, this might not even be able to work because we was thinking education growing up until now. We just now, okay, we work for ourselves. They gonna find a way not to even work, just get
But
money.
they're
Yeah.
going to understand technology and processes and systems. They're going to be the one creating these new
Yeah.
systems.
And then soon the older people are going to be the ones working for the 20-year-olds, and you're going to be 50 working for someone who has a, you know, technology company that's 20 because
Yeah.
they figured out how to utilize technology.
Agree.
So yeah, it's possible. I want people to know that, and it's the new way of the world. And in like I said, 5 to 10 years, everyone's gonna be doing it. At least the people with the hustle, because you have to have that hustle mentality. Like, it's not gonna be easy. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, just sit back and it's gonna come to you. No, I was telling you, I was hustling 3 hours a day after work, after driving an hour just to get from my 9 to 5. And I was taking meetings during lunch break. I wasn't, out getting
we
lunch.
ain't doing nothing out these traffic. I'm
Right.
trying to tell you that right now.
No,
That's
the
right.
traffic just takes you
drains
all
you.
the way
Yeah.
out.
That drains you for sure. But yeah, I was like taking calls and during traffic. Okay, I'm stuck in traffic. Well, let me try to, hop on a call with a client, try to get a new client.
See, that's why I'm gonna get my 3 hours in traffic.
Right.
Have my laptop on the dashboard. I can do that for you right
Don't
now.
even worry about it.
I'll be stuck here for 2 hours. I got that.
Right?
Let me do it now.
I love it. So do you have any certain processes or systems that you use specifically, partner with any databases that we know of?
No, I have not partnered with any yet, but I do have a lot that I use.
Okay.
And I can't tell you exactly everything because that's part of the training. We teach you which processes to use, which systems, how to keep track of things, how to stay organized. And if you go online on ownyourtime.com, OWNURTIME, we have some free guides that are on there that help you tips to get organized, tips for time management. So go on there and get the free guides. If not, definitely sign up for the course. We have the course on there now for $3.99, and it's just the course only. That's without the mentorship. You also get, if you want the second package, the mentorship, and then the third package is also assistance finding your first client. So we have different packages for everyone. Who I know everyone has different needs and different finances. So
Gotta give a little, get a little.
Yeah, well, hopefully this actually
It's an
makes you
investment.
want to start your own product. I think you would be able to cut out everybody.
yeah.
And become the main source. You should probably look into doing your own software.
That is good.
I think that would
I think
Dropping
so.
jewels.
I'm just saying, if you do it, y'all heard it here first. I want my my intellectual, property
what?
on that.
I got you.
Partner
I
together.
got
Let's do
you.
this.
That's actually a good idea, but I definitely I heard it first here.
Thank you.
But again, before you leave, I know you put it out once. Go ahead and put it out again, where people can get in contact with you, any information they need.
Yeah, definitely. So the best and easiest way to get in contact is on Instagram at ownyourtime, and it's OWNURTIME. And you can send us an email on Instagram or you can DM us. Also, the website, you can fill out an inquiry, www.ownyourtime.com, OWNURTIME. Or you can follow us on our Facebook page at Own Your Time. So there are plenty of ways to get in contact with us.
There's no excuse for you not having extra money
Exactly.
for Christmas. Do it now. Don't wait. Get these rates, because as soon as this system comes out, y'all gonna wish y'all got that $3.99. Okay?
Exactly.
Especially when you're on your own.
Oh,
Yeah.
work from anywhere, literally. I was in Italy working. I was in Ireland working. I was in the Cayman Islands working. You can work from anywhere. So
See, the only reason she was able to take these trips because she was owning her own time.
exactly.
Her own time.
I didn't have to ask for time off.
Oh my God, yes.
You're kicking it with G on your favorite station.
The perfect station.
92 KELZ, the only station with new music, new artists, new sound.